And what is good, YouTube? It's been a while since it's been 1 month since I last talked to you guys. Sheesh. But hey, the video got 33 views and we're back again. Now, you're probably wondering, what is this video about? From the title, from everything I've been doing on my shorts, if you noticed, go watch those and follow on TikTok. Right? Shameless plug, but I have built my very first ever 3D game called. Now, what is the stack? It's pick up bricks, place them on a platform, walk around as a cute little angry character, and build a tower with your friends on Farcaster/base. That's the whole premise of it. Now, on the surface, it looks simple, sounds simple, seems simple, right? But in reality, this was 12,000 lines of AI-generated code that, of course, couldn't have been done by me at all. So we got to give our list of shouts out first. Claude, Code, Windsurf, GitHub Copilot. The big five in my little category of my tech stack. As that kind of goes on, let me get into the real nitty-gritty. This project was 12,000 lines of TypeScript code, a custom backend, a full-on multiplayer server, honestly, and a database even too, a Supabase database, that is. But at the same time, this has taken me 8 days to build. It only cost technically $7, which honestly isn't that much, but for me, it likely is. But we're gonna breeze past that $7 a month. But long story short, we got this hosted live and running currently on the web that you can visit right now. If you have a Farcaster account, that is a Farcaster account. But that's besides the point. Long story short, we got it completely up and running just for less than a cup of coffee from Starbucks. That's how much it costs to host this entire thing, $7. Now, in this video, we are going to get into everything. How long it took me to build this, what was the game plan, where I got my assets from, my AI coding partners, shout out Claude, and all the lousy mistakes I made along the way. And if you want to see behind the scenes, I have a bunch of videos of me building this on and off camera on Kick. Go follow my Kick if you want to go see it. You may be asking, where does an idea like this stem from? It all started with this, on-chain summer rewards. Now, if you know what base Farcaster mini apps are, basically this was a little hackathon. And I thought, why don't we build something fun for the hackathon? As you could see, there's top live mini apps and a nice little prize pool of 200K, but it's split up to 50Ks each and then 1K just for global prizes. I thought, hey, why don't I enter something fun? See what I can vibe code up, you know what I'm saying? So that's where this kind of stemmed from. And that's where the whole idea came from. But where did it really stem from? It really stemmed from the Tower of Babel. Now, that's a big little story found in Genesis. I feel like I'm doing a presentation talking about this, but this is where the whole idea for the tower came from. As you can tell, it was basically, let's see, if I thought to myself, if we can make a game where it kind of was inspired by a story from the Bible, where people contribute to the tower, building it up, making the community tower much bigger and bigger, actually, it would be fun. Now, honestly, even though it is on the Farcaster ecosystem, the whole game point came from this image right here. A man named Rubery started up this whole trend of making 3D games inside of the Farcaster ecosystem. Now, Farcaster and Base are both their own little entities, but they're all under the same client of Ethereum/Base network or Base chain, whatever you want to call it. And they started their whole initiative where they have basically social media apps with mini apps. Like as you're scrolling your feed, imagine you're on Twitter and you could just click an app and boom, now you're here. You could play a game, send coins, buy coins, do whatever someone invents in an app. And basically all it is just a web app just wrapped around this. The whole idea of combining the Tower of Babel story, 3D elements, and mix them together to create. But for all my developers, #us, who want to hop into this and understand how this all works, I'll walk you through simply. Let's hop into this. I'm going to show you what the game looks like overall. So this is us on the stack. Overall, this is what we have. Have a nice little starting screen. If you're on mobile, it would be condensed. Normal 9:16 TikTok size. This is how it looks. You have your little character. You walk around, and if you want, you can control it with the little joystick here. I have a jump button over here with chat for when it's in multiplayer, of course. This is a local host, so no one else can join me, of course. And also zoom out. See your character, see how the tower looks when it becomes fully stacked, stuff like that, basically. Now, let's get back to it. This is our character. We can control him on keyboard and mouse, we click E, we can pick up. But if you're on mobile, you just tap the tower and you go anywhere and you could place a brick. Now this is a local host, so of course we're gonna have issues, but long story short, we could tap anywhere where it shows the green and place a brick. Now I guess this issue is only happening because something's going on. I don't know exactly fully, but we gotta fix that. Probably because of bug issues. But if we were to show this on Farcaster instead, as you can see, we're in Farcaster over here. If we tap the tower, get ourselves our bricks, come over here, place them, boom, shows up right there, the brick we just placed. And as you can see, we have a leaderboard of other people who have already been playing the game. And I got 5 bricks. Rubery, shouts out to him, joining 32 bricks, brick streaks, sessions, blah, blah, this stuff like that. And for some reason, it still shows up demo users, so I have to fix that in the code, but this is currently how the game looks in a mobile format. Now, I also realized my face is probably overlapping it. So let me just, basically, this is how it would look overall. Come on, place in bricks. And as you can see, since this game is small, and I just started out doing this, this is how it will look overall. Players could place bricks, stack bricks above each other, do much more, and of course, you can go on top of the bricks. And eventually, as the tower expands more and more, you can control it, have fun with it. And this is how the game is overall. And as of you see right now, you got a decent amount of bricks being placed. Now, if you want to join and contribute, be my guest. This is our entire code base. As you can see, we have ourselves our code base. I basically don't understand what's going on in here. This is the backend with the multiplayer server. And I think the code base is also somewhere in here too. Well, not code base, the Supabase, the database basically. Long story short, if you're hosting this on Farcaster, you need something called a manifest. You have your header, payload, signature. I'm not gonna really get into all that stuff because that's another video for another time, but I just wanna show you the breakdown of this. As you can see, as we started making our app more public and building it overall, we had some assets over here from models, as in like the brick pile, the textures, the island, the platform. Now, after we had all our assets that we wanted created, it was literally just building the idea out. So I was going to use Cursor, but if y'all don't know, Cursor decided to say, hey, we can't afford this VC money anymore. We blew through it very fast. So now you can only use model. If you try using the chat mode, you can't use any of these nice custom modes that show up down here. You gotta pay full price now or around it. And because I'm a student, I get Cursor for free, but my thing resets in what? I think I'm filming this on the 2nd. Yeah, I'm filming this August 2nd. So my thing resets in 5 days. And until then, I'm not really gonna be touching building much. But I do have Claude Code, which I found out about at the last minute, but we aren't gonna talk about that just yet. Right now, what we used instead was Windsurf. Now, what is Windsurf, you may ask? It's the exact same thing as Cursor, just a little bit dumber slightly. But at the same time, Windsurf had a much better usage rate. So for example, as you can see, my peak days were July 18th, all moving up to the 21st, 22nd, and then the 20th or 24th. Basically, long story short, I paid full price. Or no, I only paid $6.79. Oh my God. I only paid $6.79 and I was able to get a nice amount through. They gave us, I think it was 500 credits. Supposedly I used 495, but that's how much credits I have. Now, if I go over to my usage, as you can see, oh yeah, I definitely did run through 500 credits then. As you can see, I used up to 500. I have 10 days until these reset, so I could wait and use it again. But this is what I used to help build out a majority of the starting place. Now, the complex part got into the placing of the blocks. Now, if we go back to our game, as you can see, just roaming around, we basically had the island, even the water, for example, was AI generated. I just told it to do something like that, and the water, if you notice, rises and falls. It's really slow, but running this in a mobile app does take up and consume a lot of usage. But at the same time, we were able to make it look this nice, use it. Originally, we had shadows, we had real textures, like a lot of high quality stuff. But I realized as we were developing more and more in this game, it kind of makes the frame rate drop a lot. Kind of like ping in Fortnite if you ever played Fortnite. So as you can see, we even had originally a tower where it was really good. An actual tower with brick assets, but we downgraded and told Gemini, hey, use this. And funny enough, I didn't, with Gemini, when I told it to use this, we used something else to help use that. Because let's just say this, we were flying through assets just saying, hey, do this, do that. We weren't properly prompted, we didn't have structure, we didn't have any plan. Honestly, we just told it, hey, just hop into it and start doing it, which was honestly the greatest thing of all time. And these 500 credits speak for themselves, highly used. If you aren't using your credits developing your first project, are you really a developer? But no, that's besides the point. Honestly, we just have to wait for our stuff to revamp, but we had 11,000 lines of code, almost 12K, 497 credits used. I don't know what Squirtle is at all in this, but this was that. Now, the next thing we used to help when we had to move on faster was called Trey AI. Now, Trey AI, I gotta give my hats off to Trey. Honestly, during these few days, we just spam Trey. Now, Trey, for example, I use Claude Sonnet 4, Grok in it. Like, honestly, these three guys inside of Trey, I can't say too much. Like, I started Trey off and it was able to accomplish most things, but it kind of was I don't know. Like, it was really an interesting experience using Trey AI. Now, the AI IDEs, aka my coding partners, honestly, Claude Sonnet 4 completed most of my requests. Using Opus, you can't use Opus inside of most of these because Opus is extremely expensive. It's up there with O3, but it's not that bad, honestly. My usage, on the other hand, let's just say this. We ran straight through the Pro plan. Now, you have unlimited slow requests. The only thing about these slow requests to 2 hours just to get completed. So that means if your thing doesn't get working within that 2 hour time span, you probably wasted a whole prompt low key. But honestly, it does give you unlimited. So for $10, if it's your first time trying Trey AI, you get it for $3. But after that, it's $10 from then on, which honestly isn't that bad. But I don't think I'll be using it again. It was good while it lasted, but I'm just gonna wait for extremely smarter models to come out to step back into Trey. But until then, it is what it is. But I still gotta give my respects to Trey. Now, the last one that I used, nice little Claude AI. Claude Code. I knew Claude Code had this, but basically it's a Max Pro plan feature. Max or Pro plan feature. Now, I spent the $20 because, as you can see over here in my chat logs, Blockbench, MCP. I use this to basically generate assets in Blockbench on another project, which I haven't launched, but I'm planning to get around it. Listen, this channel is about to be filled with different projects that I'm getting done. Hopefully we can sell some of them and make some money. But that's besides the point. Basically, we used Blockbench. We bought Claude, which was $20 a month, which isn't that bad, honestly. And you get the access to most of Claude's features. Now, you could pay for the max plan, but I don't exactly have $100 a month to be shelling out. But at the same time, Claude Code, or Claudie, as I should say, Claudie Code, it is really good. I will say that. Here we go. On this post, basically, Anthropic revoked OpenAI's API access to its Claude models ahead of the launch of GPT-5, blah, 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 this, that. Unfortunately, this is a direct violation of our terms of service. If OpenAI, technically the top AI company, is using Anthropic stuff to develop their own model, their own LLM, I should say, that kind of gives you a clear winner of who's the best for coding tools. If I were you, currently, unless you're a student, you could get Cursor for free. Same with Windsurf for extremely cheap, only $6 a month. But I would say invest $20 into Claude Code. Because yes, you get usage limits, but if you have that 100 to spend, or overall, even just the 20, Claude Code will be your best man in this wedding when it comes to creating code. I'm not even lying. It is one of the best coding tools. I give it a W in my opinion, but this is how I built, basically. A lot of you devs are asking, how did I launch this? And honestly, it was the easiest part of the entire thing. Once I realized I had access to Claude Code literally at the last minute of my subscription, meaning that this project could get done in less than 8 days, Claude Code can run terminal commands. So what did I use? Originally, I was going to use Vercel, but then I realized I also had a Netlify account. Now, what is Netlify, you may ask? Long story short, push any modern front-end stack from marketing sites to AI apps. Basically, you could host any of your apps on here. Now, if I was to log in, for example, because it's going to instant log me in here, I have a bunch of apps. As you can see, we have the stack, which was literally just a day ago, and a couple other projects. These two, we'll get into that in the future. But this one is one of my projects that I have currently sitting on the front end, where it's basically a music visualizer. You upload music, play it there, boom, bam, bop. If anyone wants the link to that, leave a like in the comments or this video to get this video to 5 likes, and I'll put this in the description of what this app is. And we'll do a video on this too in the future. But besides the point of that, Netlify is basically a front-end hosting tool, meaning the whole reason you could see things like this and other things is called the front end of your mini app, or app, whatever you may have. So any web apps, this is completely free. I didn't have to pay a dime, and it will keep it live infinitely because I don't know. It's basically free and it's really good, and it has terminal CLI commands. So what does that mean? That means if I want, for example, I can say, hey, Netlify, so-and-so user has this, and it basically connects, meaning, oh, it can read my entire code base and knows exactly what goes on the front end. So that's why I like Netlify at the end of the day. So that was just the front end. Now, what did we use for the database? We have something called Supabase. Now, if you ever used Lovable or anything like that, basically, if you're making a live app or any type of app, there's this thing called Lovable. I said Lovable. There's this thing called Supabase. Now, what is Supabase? Long story short, it's a database. So, for example, let's say you are filling out a form. Let's say you're filling out a form of your blood type, and you're like, my blood type's AB. On that form, if you give it out to multiple people, they'll have different blood types. Some people O, some people A, some people normal B, multiple people Z, who knows, whatever. Long story short, a database basically holds it in place. So we have the database going, and long story short, we use Supabase because it's completely free. They allow you to have multiple projects, and you can upgrade, pay $20 a month for unlimited projects if you want. In the future, once I start making some money from these mini apps, to be upgrading our sort of stack of what we use and what we're paying. Now, we could be doing this extremely cheaper, but $7 a month is pretty cheap. This currently is completely free. Supabase will hold it for a long time if it's being used consistently. People are filling out their stuff. And for example, in my game, on the leaderboards, let's say, currently we don't have it here, but I think if we pull it up over here, when we have all these people, right? This is technically the database. This is what's being held. People could see. We have first, second, third. Everyone could place bricks, all this stuff. Shows how much bricks you have placed. And technically it keeps track of your character overall of what you're doing in the game. And that's how the database works inside our game. Now, for the final thing, the backend. Where is the backend? Let's close out some tabs, shall we? Now, the backend. What do we use? This platform is called Render. Now, Render, technically, you could host most of your stuff from this, but I only needed it for the backend. And that's why I kind of have it split, but I don't mind. Long story short, we had Render. And as you can see, we have our game deployed, and it instantly connects via GitHub. Same with Supabase. Most of these just connect with your GitHub account. So once you have your repo completely done, you know your game's working, all this stuff, you just ask Claude Code, hey, I need to connect it to so-and-so, and it will do it. Same with Cursor, same with Windsurf. Most of these will do it, but if you want to guarantee that it will go live, it will do it through this. Now, any type of errors I had, for example, when it came to this, I just went in my logs, copied and paste, but as you can see, it shows the entire tower here, showing the state the tower's in, how many bricks are on there, and it updates it mid-game. So basically, the same bricks are all being tracked across the tower. So for example, if this 38 bricks now goes up to 40, 50, 60, it will keep track nonstop. So that means if you log out and you log back in, your bricks are still tracked. It shows it in your database, and it all connects together, making it a nice uniformed full stack mini app overall. If we're to really talk cost, let me come over here so I could have some nice editing work. We basically had, let's see, Supabase, completely free. Netlify, also free. Render, $7 a month. So that's how much that costs. Now, if we're talking the building tools themselves, because I'm a student, I'm also accounting for myself as a student. Currently, Windsurf is $15 flat out if you want to pay full service for it, 500 credits and all. But if you're a student, it's $6.79. Cursor, normally $20 a month. Currently, they have a limit on it, so you only get $20 for API usage. But if you're a student, it's completely free. It is unlimited though if you use the auto option, but let's just say Cursor completely free. Tray AI, $3 a month. It is, that's your first time trying it, you will get it for free, or for $3 for free. But at the same time, if Tray isn't really your forte, next you can move on to Claude Code. Now flat out, even if you're a student or not, $20 a month. Does that suck? A little bit, yes. But at the same time, Claude Code is extremely good as a coding model tool. What do I have to say with all those tools? This project technically coming out together probably costed under $30 to $40. Not even under $30. Like if we take how much it costs for hosting and then Claude Code itself, $27. If I did have to redo this, my only regret is that I didn't know I had Claude Code and used it sooner, because I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I only learned that I had Claude Code literally towards the end of my subscription, meaning the last few days, because I was buying Tray, buying Windsurf, buying a couple other IDEs, because I couldn't use Cursor at the time. And if it wasn't for Windsurf, it got me through a lot. But if I knew I had Claude Code, high chance I could have been done with this project in less than 3 to 4 days. But we got it done. It's launched, it's live in the world, and I'm happy about it, honestly. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Thank you all for joining me. Trust me, we're going to be posting a lot more devs. Make sure y'all follow my Kick. All the videos I upload for shorts on YouTube also are on my TikTok and Instagram, so if you want to go follow those, be my guest. But yeah, Dev, thanks for joining me in this journey. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to try out the mini app, download Farcaster, or if you're on Base, get Base app, or I think the Base wallet, and hop on and type in the stack. The link will be in the description to play it, but at the same time, I hope y'all enjoy, devs. I'll catch y'all around.